All right. What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome into the Cover Price Weekly Top 10 for the week ending August 26th, 2024.
Yep.
While you all are congregating, let's do my favorite.
Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started. Nothing can stop that now.
All right, we are back. It is Tuesday. It's the Top 10 show, and Gabe has his gauntlet ready to go. Nice.
Yeah, he does. Look at that big thing.
Well, I always got my gauntlet on because I do have the tattoo also. So let's roll.
Of course.
All right,
True
let's
fan
start.
right there, ladies and gentlemen. A true fan.
I just make bad decisions. That's all.
That's not too badass. That's so cool. That's an awesome decision.
It is.
And
It is.
yeah. Say what's good to the people, Gabe.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Another great week. It's been a while. Glad to have everybody back. I appreciate everybody showing up. Like I say, you could be anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here with us, and we're sharing our lives together for this small moment in time. So
Aw.
hang in, have fun. We got some fun comic books to talk about today.
Damn, well said, Marty.
Well said. Hey, greetings and salutations, everybody. Thank you for joining us. As always, we got a fun list tonight, I think, because it is predominantly Marvel, and there are some really good books on here, and you would be surprised. I think a lot of you will probably be on the board tonight quite a few times because there's a lot of good books in there and a lot of obtainable ones, if you will. So
Yeah, for sure.
Also, real quick, just hey, we wouldn't be here. None of us would be here right now if it wasn't for the one true creator. Okay, and that's Jack Kirby, whose birthday's tomorrow. He'd be 107.
wow, there we go.
So happy birthday!
Happy
Jack
birthday, Jack Kirby. There we go. You can't forget him, man.
Ah, that's awesome. I didn't know that. All right, cool.
Iconic.
Yeah, well, you guys just want to dive right in tonight? Let's just get going on it.
Kirby. Let's
Let's
make it
do
happen.
it.
Let's do it. Okay, so if you guys are just hopping in, again, welcome to the Cover Price Weekly Top 10. This list comes from our friends over at Cover Price. We are looking at major units sold and percentage growth. So it's the aftermarket speaking, telling you guys what's being bought. Every week we have a runner-up. What do we have first?
Coming up first, good old Amazing Spider-Man 194. This came out July of 1979. So Black Cat has been a fan favorite character to be cast in the next Spider-Man film. Earlier this year, a fan cast of Sydney Sweeney as a femme fatale began circulating. It mostly went unbeknownst to us, but it looks like that this has circled back again. This week, a rumor started floating around that the MCU was looking at Sweeney for the role of Black Cat. Fingers crossed, everybody.
No.
The rumor does come from a reputable leaker, giving it more credence online. To add to the rumor, Boss Logic released an artist rendering of Sweeney in the Black Cat outfit. I didn't need him to do a rendering. That's in my head already. All this has caused a spike in interest in Black Cat's first appearance. We've tracked 16 copies sold, 7-day growth of 11%, high sell of $1,000 for 9.6, and current near mint raw is $138.
Babe, check this
Yeah.
out. Look at
What
here
up?
it is. All right, hold on. Let me take the overlay down so that you guys can see the rendition that Boss Logic put up. This makes it look good.
Oh,
Yeah.
good Lord Almighty.
Yeah, I'm not a
That-
fan of Sweeney. She's a terror. Like, I just don't like her acting. I think she's
No, nobody's casting of her acting. Come on.
I know, but I mean, Black Cat already, I think, can sometimes get a lot of hate just for being sort of cheesy. But it's like, I think that is something.
Black Cat cheesy, really? I
don't hate
grew
that?
up.
What is
Her
wrong?
Her costumes are so cheesy, especially her costume.
No,
Yeah.
no. I grew up reading this very Amazing Spider-Man when he meets her and they get into this relationship. It was a very steamy relationship, if you will. They had a lot of deep feelings for each other. So, and it really, these books really brought you in, and not just on the Amazing Spider-Man, but also the spectacular Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man, and I think Web of Spider-Man also had her too. So there's a lot of good stuff in here. So,
Campbell's done her well. I think I'm talking about like her physical rendition. Campbell's has done her well. Adam Hughes has done her well. But like I think that I don't know, Sydney Sweeney.
I think the thing about her costume, though, that's awesome, is as you can see here in her first appearance, it's basically the same thing ever since 1979. There has been very little change. Like, you don't have like the wispy stuff on her arms and her feet anymore, but it's a very basic costume that's iconic, similar to Spider-Man's, where it doesn't really change. So I mean, that's something going for that.
Yeah.
But let's see.
I love that. I love that right there. That's gorgeous. Come on, Laura, you got to say, man.
All right, you want my honest opinion? I think it's stunning, but he messed up her hair.
Oh,
Like, I want her hair not to be so flat. Like, I want her hair to be a little bit more. But
yeah, we gotta give her some of that 70s hair going. They give her some.
Honestly,
she needs some mousse and some blow drying. Like, I
I
know anything about hair. What am I talking about?
But it does look flat. Yeah.
It looks a little bit flat. That's my only thing. But yeah, I don't know. What is the chat saying? The chat's kind of like all over the place. But
I don't know.
Sweeney's, she's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. She's gorgeous. But I've only seen her in Madam Web. And then I saw her in that movie. But man, those were both terrible movies.
Apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but Euphoria is supposed to be really good.
I haven't seen Euphoria. That's what she's like mostly known for too, right?
Euphoria, yeah. Okay. I don't think I've seen that.
It's like a teen drama. Well, I think it's like an adult drama, but like featuring teens. I don't know, but I haven't seen that. I've only seen Madam Web.
I think it's about drug addiction. Like,
drug addiction. A couple other like really powerful.
All I know is that she's supposed to get naked in it. So like, I'm in. I don't know why I haven't seen it yet. But.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you go. You're throwing her up.
That's bold.
I mean, she's like basically naked if you're like going for that. Like in that Anybody But You movie, she's like in bikinis and stuff.
Okay. You guys know more about this than I do.
Stunning, like naturally stunning.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, we'll see. The Amazing Spider-Man 194. Top sale for a 9.6, coming in at $1,000 with a 7-day trend of 11%. Again, the boss logic is very, very well done, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Let's keep going. What do we have to officially kick off the list?
Here it's back again. We see this. We're seeing this again, right? It's infamous Iron Man #1 by Marvel, published in October of 2016. The ebb and flow of this book is something else. When it was announced Robert Downey Jr. would step into the role of Dr. Doom in some capacity, this book went bonkers, mainly due to it being the first appearance of Dr. Doom as Iron Man with a Tony Stark AI to boot. When fans think of Tony Stark, they think of Robert Downey Jr. and now Dr. Doom. The connections naturally formed and haven't been discredited yet. We tracked 27 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 28%, with a high sale of $211 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current near mint raw of $51.
All right, where we at, Gabe?
You knew I was looking it up.
I knew.
Last week it was $255 for the CGC.
Wow.
9.8. But Near Mint Raw was $49. So Near Mint Raw picked
Mm.
up.
Okay.
Yeah, but the dip in the 9.8 is more substantial than the small growth in the raw.
I agree. Like the 9.8, that should be like the tentpole like price. Right?
Exactly.
All right. We'll get
Exactly.
there. Not giving up on this. We'll get there.
Interesting.
I'm gonna Chris is out there
Interesting.
tracking this, man. I'm gonna see him tracking if he's got that chart he was talking about.
To see how this one fluctuates. Let's see. Yeah, no surprise here. I'm not shocked to see this one back. I think it's going to be one of those ones that we keep seeing popping up as we get closer and closer to the new movie.
I'm going to be the contrarian and say that we're going to see this disappear.
It will. I mean,
I
I
think
it comes out, then it'll disappear again till the trailer comes out. Then it'll disappear
Right.
until
Well,
the movie.
well, I think the key piece of the puzzle here is it Iron Man as Doctor Doom, or is Robert Downey Jr. legitimately playing Victor Von Doom and not Tony Stark?
that's the big question, right?
That's the big question. The last thing I
that's-
kind of saw, I think me and Laura talked about it like on Instagram real quick.
Yeah.
They say that they're supposed to be doing it right, which would have to be
Okay.
Victor Von Doom and not Tony Stark. But
Exactly.
we'll see. If it's legitimately just Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom, nothing to do with Tony Stark, this book disappears.
Mhm.
If it is Tony Stark as Doctor Doom, then we'll see this probably bounce back and forth a little bit.
I could see that. I definitely agree with you 100% on that, man.
All right, Marty, you're right. We got a lot of people on the board tonight, guys. Like we were saying earlier, this is a list that a lot of you should be able to hit at least one or two on it. But for number 10, we have Infamous Iron Man #1 with a top sale from a CGC 9.8 at 211, 7-day trend of 28%. What do we have for number 9?
All right, give me a second. I had to get back to the list. I went and checked the last thing about Infamous.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, where are we here?
You want me to? Okay.
Oh, sweet. Number 9. Everybody should have this. If not,
Right.
this is a good indicator that it's a good time to start picking this book up. This book is iconic. We're talking about Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8, the direct edition, coming out December 1984. You know what it is. This is the origin of the black suit and a major key for most Spidey fans, and has the potential to factor into Marvel's motion picture plans. Potentially is the key word here, though, as nothing's been confirmed, so let's tread lightly here. But with that said, this book will always be in demand thanks to its proximity to Spider-Man and that relationship to Venom. We've tracked 33 copies sold, 7-day growth of 9%, high sell $625 for that CGC 9.8, and current near mint raw is $152. So the list here says that it's the origin of the black suit. Are we not considering this the first appearance anymore? Because I know it's kind of a Hulk 181, 180 situation.
Right. No, that might just be a mistype. I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but I don't see this going anywhere. This is always going to be a key collector book right here, and regardless how the movie does, this is still either going to stay what it is or go up or level back out. I mean, this is a book that's going to be around for quite some time.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said before, like this should be like a tentpole in most people's collections. Yeah. Nothing to do with Marvel MCU or anything like that, but just the fact of how important this is, not only with Secret Wars, but the black suit becoming Venom, and that whole relationship is always going to be there. That's always an important part of Marvel Universe lore. And people in the chat saying that Amazing 252 is the first appearance. Either way, Secret Wars 8 is always going to be
right
on the cover. It's probably one of the most image covers of all time. So it's an excellent book to have as a comic book fan.
There. If you have this on the slab, though, like CGC puts it as origin on.
Does it? Okay.
It does. Yeah. I have it behind
okay. Either way, I mean, I would recommend, and I've done this as well, is get this book along with the Amazing Spider-Man 252. And I think the other one was it Marvel Tales or Marvel something that you have the Amazing Spider-Man on the front with the black suit. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Well, there's 3 of them. I would recommend getting all 3 of those. I mean, just it's just good to have. It's part of the collection thing.
I agree. Well said. Yeah, this is definitely one we should all own. If you don't already, try to get your hands on it if you can. Because somebody in the chat was saying if Tom Holland gets the black suit, Toy Time Studios, welcome in. Then yeah, it'll just again continue to grow. So number 9, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8. This is the direct edition. What do I have?
Marvel team up, thank you.
I got this. I think it's on my spinner rack back here, actually. But yeah.
Mine's only a 9.2 though, but better than nothing, right? Top sale for CGC 9.8 came in at $625 with a 7-day trend of 9%. Let's keep cruising. What do we have at number 8? It's back.
There it is. Gabe, he's still with us.
I did Secret Wars.
You're up, Marty.
Okay, my bad. You had me all discombobbled. Anyways, by the way, the guys actually gave this out on their Friday show. They actually gave out the set of this. So the cover price guys. Yeah. So number 8 brings you Power Fantasy number 1, Caspar Wingard. This is the regular cover. Post.
Well said. Really good.
I'll try that again later. But published by Image in August of 2020. You're killing me, Lord. You're killing me. The community had their eyes on this book for a while, even before it dropped. It was garnering heavy interest. Then the Chase variant dropped, and everyone's attention shifted. Cover A was still doing well, but heavily overshadowed by its limited cousin. Now, Cover A is hitting the spotlight as the Chase variant has either been chased down or is growing out of reach momentarily for some collectors, albeit coming back to Earth. We track 13 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 38%, with a high sale of $23 for a near mint copy and a current near mint raw of $12. There it is.
That's cool. So they gave it away. See, we got to be tuning in on Fridays. I hear they do giveaways every Friday.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fun. It's Matt and John hanging out, so you guys get to kind of see the behind the scenes of who CovrPrice is, right?
Yeah.
Good conversation. They give away always cool books. So
yeah.
You know how it goes, King of the Golden State. People aren't going to go to the racks. They're going to go to the Bay. And they're going to pay more than they probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't get it off the rack already, because I think I mentioned this the first time it came on the list, is this those hidden kind of Chase variants stores don't notice and they just rack it, so you can always kind of end up finding that. Sure. It's been a while since we had like a Chase variant. Like I think it was Venom. There was Venom one that had like a tongue. And then I think it was like there's another Marvel one where it was Hawkeye with the mask and Hawkeye without the mask, So most of the time stores just don't notice it and they just rack it. But at this time it's already those racks are picked clean.
Yeah. I honestly, I would look at this cover. If I see this, I wouldn't be, interested in picking it up, to be honest with you. It just doesn't stand out to me as it's going to be an awesome read. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, I mean, not to take away from the book itself, I think they could have done better with the cover.
I'll agree with you on the cover, but Kieran Gillen's one of my favorites. Like, I think that it's worth reading. That's just my opinion. You never know. Like, not to necessarily flip it, but if you can find on the rack a cover, I'd probably pick it up. But we'll have to see. The cover is.
Yeah, you never want to have a character's back to the reader kind of thing.
All right, number 8, the Power Fantasy number 1. What's the name again, Marty?
Caspar Wingard.
Perfect. Nailed it with a raw coming in at $23 and a 7-day trend of 38%. That was fantastic, Marty. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Number 7, what do we got?
Number 7, we get some back issues rolling in here. I love it. With Avengers Volume 1, number 55 from 1968. Avengers Age of Ultron is the oft-forgotten Avengers movie, mostly due to being overshadowed by its predecessor and successors. Still, it introduced huge audiences to the character of Ultron, who is an epic villain who translated well onto the screen. Part of that was thanks to an incredible performance by David Spader, who luckily will be returning to the role in an upcoming Vision series. The two were intertwined heavily in the Avengers film, and that was often when both were at their best. Time to make some magic. We've tracked 16 copies sold, 7-day growth trend of 24%. High sell, we're looking at $186 for a CGC 8.5, and near mint raw is only $35. So there's some good prices. This is a cheap book that is being overlooked.
Yeah, obviously, and just like what the Reed said, that this is it combines, right? It combines with the other. So there it is. It's another good book to have.
Is it James Spader? The note said David Spader. They must have thought David Spade. That is to be Ultron.
I got my girl in the chat fact checking us. Hey Sarah, there's she.
Yo.
Yeah, she. Yeah.
James Spader. I want an honest answer from you guys. What did you think of Age of Ultron? I know it gets so much hate, but I actually really liked that movie.
Why'd you whisper that?
Because a lot of people are like, "How can you like it? It was awful." I'm like,
I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was enjoyable. I really did. I mean, then again, I'm a big fan of all the Marvel movies out there, but however, I don't know. That's just me too, Laura. To be honest with you, I enjoyed it.
No, I liked it too. I mean, I agree that it was kind of overshadowed by the first Avengers film, and then afterwards you got Endgame and Infinity War. But I don't think that should hinder how. Yeah, it's about an 8, isn't it? Like it's not hugely spectacular, but it's not garbage. And
exactly.
It's also like one of the last. It's like the last time that we got all the Avengers together, like fighting together. Like in Endgame and Infinity War, they were all broken up. It was Splinter and stuff like that. So
right, exactly.
Yeah. And
exactly.
with the Vision show coming out, there's other books out there to be looking at too. So this is cheap. This is a good book right now.
It's still good, affordable and attainable too. So don't. And if you're big on the Avengers or just want to speculate, grab it now. Yeah.
All right, there you go. Number 7, The Avengers, number 55. This gorgeous book coming in at quite a steal, 8.5 for 186 with a 7-day trend of 24%. And I don't know. I'm a fan of Age of Ultron. I think you guys should go back and rewatch it if you haven't seen it in a while, because there's a couple of scenes in there that just hit really hard. So.
Yeah, I mean the whole part where they're all trying to lift a hammer and stuff. Like that's awesome.
That's funny. That's good writing, and I don't know. I thought it was entertaining. Okay.
Well said, Lady Laura. Well said.
I liked it. I got so much shit. This is a while ago, though. People were like, "How can you like that? It's crap." And I'm like, "Well, ooh, Marty, what do we look at this?"
Yeah.
You want to show everybody? What
do you want me to show them?
What you got?
Show us earlier.
Okay. Yeah. All right. There we go. There we go.
Those? I didn't ask.
Direct and newsstand. So what I did was I went on to the CovrPrice page. Okay. I went onto my wish list, and then I searched for the things on my wish list, and I used that little icon on the bottom with the money sign, and it takes you to where it's available and who's selling it. And then if you click on a certain one, it may go to my comic shop, or it may go to eBay, or it may go, and so and once I get in there, I'll look and I'll research the prices. I'll see what's trending with the market, and I'll see what they're selling for. And if I can meet that halfway, or if I'm going just a little bit more than my halfway, I'll buy. You know what I mean? So I have a certain method of how I'll typically buy a book and what I'm looking for. So there you go.
Well said. That's a brilliant way to do it. All right, whose read is this?
My read.
All right, get it, Marty. Take it.
Okay. Number 6 brings you the Uncanny X-Men Volume 1, number 251, published by Marvel in November of 1989. Gosh, Under the Radar book has been heating up for the weeks now. Before the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, it was warm thanks to X-Men 97 hype. Then the movie dropped and put it on the map. Double then, the behind the scenes started trickling out. going to how they made that scene possible. It's awesome to see the fantastic classic cover making a comeback. We track 54 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 6%, with a high sale of $350 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current near mint raw of $25. There it is.
All right, Gabe, what do you think? This is all you, bud.
I'm so impressed that this book is staying on the list. Like, like a bit part in the movie, that it's holding weight. It's standing its ground. It's king in the mountain. It's just great to see something that is organically kind of fun being put out there and that people are really gravitating to. I mean, even to the point there is a Mark Silvestri like black and white sketch homage to this. He homages himself to Witchblade that he's now coloring and putting out as like a current variant as well. So even the creator of this cover is like, oh yeah, I'm jumping on the bandwagon for this bad boy.
As they should. I mean, get some recognition on it. Get more people looking at it, more people reading it. Miko Suian did a good version of this. I liked what he did with his.
I think what sold me on this was I love the cover. It's not so much for what the movie, the scene in the movie, but just, I mean, it's a beautiful purple cover. It stands out, and then you have the Wolverine crucified on the X, right? And that just really, the purple really brings out that yellow. So it's a beautiful cover, and I don't think this is going to go anywhere. If anything, it's going to maintain its value or even go up. But I think you're going to continue to see this book coming around over and over again.
Yeah, the purple somehow works with like the whole hallucinating and makes sense. So Purple Rain, baby, exactly. From the Golden State. Oh, and he said to come back to him when you have 20 copies minimum. Right?
Of course, 20 minimum. He says not 20, but 20 minimum. That doesn't surprise me, James.
You got to put those numbers up, Marty. You got to bring those numbers up.
Obviously.
I need to get on the board. All right, we're halfway there, guys. There are 70 of you hanging out with us right now. Thank you so much for spending your Tuesday with the CovrPrice team. We are excited to have you guys here. It's what makes this so much fun. So thank you guys for being here. What do we have for the halfway point?
What we have at the halfway point is one of the most iconic covers of all time, with one of the best reimagining runs ever of a comic book character. Yes. And that's Daredevil 181. Came out April of 1982. This iconic book has fans taking a second look. This book marks the quote-unquote death of Elektra, the often love interest of Daredevil. She's been in the headlines lately thanks to Jennifer Gardner reprising her Elektra role in Deadpool and Wolverine, and the new Punisher and new Daredevil, Elektra, recently duking it out in comic books. And there's been rumors that another Elektra, this time from the Daredevil and Defenders TV series, may be making a return for Daredevil Born Again. So much Elektra going around right now. But still, her first appearance is out of reach for the majority of fans. I have one. And her death is the next best thing for many collectors. With the Punisher returning to Daredevil Born Again, could we really see Elektra in some capacity one way or another? Only time will tell. We've tracked 21 copies sold, 7-day growth trend of 38%, high sale of $312 for a CGC 9.8, and current near mint raw is only $36, everybody. $36 for this.
No, not bad. 36.
This is one of, I said at the beginning of my whole tirade, it's an iconic cover. It's one of the biggest shock moments in comic books. Like, this is before everything was spoiled ahead of time. It solicits and pre-releases and, hey, someone's going to die in this comic book, so you should buy it kind of thing.
Right.
It's, no pun intended, it's a gut-wrenching, death scene with Elektra in it. Frank Miller working it out, turning Daredevil from a swashbuckling nobody comic book to, at this time, like top of the charts. So this, along with like Secret Wars 8, I think is like a mainstay in people's collection.
Exactly. I agree with you in that.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. This one and the first appearance of Bullseye as well. And this is this is one of those books that are just going to stay around because it's the death of Elektra. I mean, and then you see a movie with Ben Affleck, of course, and what's her name, Laura?
Who?
Jennifer Gardner. Jennifer Gardner, and yeah, exactly.
Everybody's saying that he could get back with Jennifer Garner now, but she has a boyfriend, guys. Like, it's not going to
happen. Oh, here we go.
I would like them together because they have kids together and everything. But him and J-Lo breaking up, like their divorce just got announced. So he is single, but he always just looks so damn miserable all the time.
Does he? Yeah.
He always looks so like melancholy. But Jennifer Garner is amazing, and I want her to be back. I would love that.
Yeah.
I love this book so much. I have it in my spinner rack here behind me. I love it.
He's got all of them on a spinner rack tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Spinner rack, man. I don't come over and just go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I need to get one of those. I don't have a spinner rack. You know that? Shame on me.
Good luck finding one these days.
I know, right?
You have to find
they're so and then if you find one, they're an arm and a leg, right?
Yeah. And the thing is like you could find them, but nobody ships because they're so awkward to box up. Yeah. You know, if you get like, and they're like kind of rusty and they're kind of creaky and stuff like that. So you got good luck finding a nice one out there these days.
Flea markets. If you have a brass armadillo, I've seen them being sold there before. If you want to track them down, or again, like some certain estate sales, you might come across them. But anyway, number 5, Daredevil, number 181, top sale for CGC 9.8, coming in at $312 with a 7-day trend of 38%. And like Gabe said, for under $40, you can own this. It seems super reasonable.
It's a steal. It's a steal. Yeah.
All right, what do we have for number 4?
Oh, very nice. But first of all, let me say, hey, thank you, everybody out there in the chat, everybody who's watching us live. Thanks for joining us as always. Please be kind enough to hit that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that share. Please subscribe if you're a newcomer here. And if you're new here, we hope you enjoy the show. And if you don't like this show, wait for the next one. You might like the next one, you know? So just appreciate you guys joining us. But anyways, back to the read. Number 4 is Deadpool number 31, published by Marvel in July of 2014. This book marks the first appearance of Ellie Camacho, the daughter of Deadpool, and it becomes a consistent book on this list. Part of that is the upcoming death of Wade Wilson and the heir, apparent in Ellie stepping into the role for issue number 7 of the current run. That's got fans excited, as Ellie is a relatively under-the-radar character. There's potential she could be fantastic, and many fans are banking that she will be, opting to take a flyer on her first appearance with a minimal investment. We tracked 19 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 35%, with a high sale of $175 for a CGC 9.8 copy, and a current near mint raw dog of $27. There it is.
Again, people seem so upset about this whole idea of him having like a daughter, but like this happens all the time. Like this is not something that's like new to comics. I always think about Ant-Man and Stature, but my daughter loved that. It kind of brought her into the hobby, and I know that people are like, oh, it's not just for teenagers, but if it brings a couple more people in, like, where's the harm in it?
Well, you know, comic books have to evolve, right? Or they're just not going to sell. They're not going to sell, and they've got, and it's a business. Whether we look at that or not, everyone's trying to make a dollar, and whether they're publishing, whether they're the artist, whether they're a writer, what have you, pick one, right? But nevertheless, you've got to understand that, and we've got to realize too. I mean, regardless of how we look at that, it is what it is. Does that make sense? Yeah.
And again, I don't have a huge issue with it. You see it a lot. You see it in a lot of superheroes. So we'll just have to give her time to develop.
Yeah, I think it's dumb. I'm one of those people.
Yeah. You think it's dumb? Why?
I don't like the idea of
this.
It's not so much that he has a daughter. I think that's dumb because I don't think he's had a relationship with somebody in order to really have a daughter. But also, besides that, I hate the idea of let's announce that we're going to kill a character. I just kind of went on a tirade about Daredevil. I hate when you announce the death of a character to try and replace it with some other random, forgotten, Z-list character kind of thing. That's what rubs me raw. That's what grinds my gears.
Yeah, that's understandable. And you know what? regardless of opinions and views, and that's the greatest thing about it. Just like collecting, you're gonna have your opinions, you're gonna collect what you love. So that's the greatest thing about what we come here to do is we debate this stuff, and we do it in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Everybody that agrees with me is wrong and dumb.
Kids. I'm gonna come over there and slam your head into your spinner rack and you agree with me, Gabe. Bam, right into the spinner rack. Anyway. All right, number 4, Deadpool number 31. First appearance of Ellie, which my daughter Ellie is very excited about this. 9.8 coming in at 175 with a 7-day trend of 35%. And yeah, let's keep going.
All right. Going number 3 is the unbelievable Gwenpool number 1 Gerhiru regular cover from Marvel, April 2016. As mentioned on last week's show, a Gwenpool skin was recently made available on the newest season of Fortnite, where Laura will kick everybody's butt and make you cry.
I will kick your ass with this.
That's right. If purchased, she was available immediately, and there sure have been a few Gwenpools running about in that game. That introduced many individuals to the character for the first time, and some opted to take a harder look. That led them down a path right to this book. A low barrier of entry for Gwenpool title that screams Fortnite. It's colorful, wacky, and heavy on the fun. Regardless, it's helping bring new collectors onto the scene, and for that, we say thank you. We tracked 17 copies sold, 7-day growth trend of 66%, high sales $100 for a CGC 9.8, and $15 for near mint raw copies.
These Gwenpool skins that have been in Fortnite, they're always sweats. Like, I don't know if it's just like a coincidence, and maybe it's these comic book people that sit down and play Fortnite, they're just like insanely good, but there's tons of them in the game. And like, if I see a Gwenpool, I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be a battle. Yeah, because like some skins, you're like, okay, that's trash. You could just tell from what season they're from or whatever. But this one, like whenever you see Gwenpool running up at you, she's usually pretty good.
Gabe, see, this is where I differ from you, how you feel about death of characters. This is how I feel about, say, bringing a character like this into the mix. Gwenpool. I mean,
Gwenpool?
Nah, not for me. Not for me.
If she's done right, she's such a good character.
I know, and that I mean, that's fine, and I'm sure there's many people that are fans of Gwenpool out there, but for me, I don't have any love for it, to be honest.
She is an odd character in terms that she's a quote unquote real person from the real world that gets pulled into the comic book world and knows everybody's like secrets and stuff like that, right?
Transported over.
But hey, you got Howard the Duck who did crazy wacky stuff as well. So this could be the Howard the Duck of the modern age.
It could be, right?
All right, well. Look at that. So he hates children and he hates girls named Gwen so far.
Yeah, that's right. I hate them all.
He hates girls named Gwen.
And he hates children.
And I hate oysters. Ew.
Okay, there's children's girls named Gwen and oysters. We're learning a lot about Gabe tonight.
Number 3, the unbelievable Gwenpool number 1, the Gerhiru regular top sale 9.8 coming in at $100, 7-day trend of 66%. And again, if you guys are out there and you play Fortnite, I am Lady Laura on Fortnite. If you ever want to play,
Lady Laura.
Yeah, I'm Lady Laura on Fortnite. And so if you see Lady Laura, you're like, oh, you just got killed by Lady Laura. That was me.
Lady Laura's teabagging me as Gwenpool. This is weird. Or hot. I don't know. Whatever.
Good God. It's a teabag.
You get teabagged a lot in that game. Like if you're knocked and like you're crawling to like your.
That's ridiculous. That's so crazy. Laura, have you ever been teabagged?
Oh, one time I got thrown over somebody's shoulder, ran into a building. They threw me in the shoulder and gang teabagged me. There was like 3 of them, and I'm like, I'm getting teabagged by like 4 different like either teenagers or full-grown men. I don't know what they were.
Right.
So yes,
I love it.
It's a bunch of basement dwellers who still order pizza. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's pretty rough. You guys have to play if you don't You have no idea what I'm talking about. All right, moving on. Sorry, tangent. Number 2. What do we have?
Whew, okay, number 2 brings you Wolverine, Revenge, Red Band number 1. Laniel Francis Yu, Tales from the Crypt number 39 homage, 1 in 25 ratio, published by Marvel in August of 2024. Fans are celebrating Greg Capullo's return to Marvel Comics and to a Wolverine property no less. The execs must have been thought, how can we make this more Wolverine? And how do you say that? And yeah, this book was born. There are more factors than that.
Voila?
Voila.
Voila. Yeah.
Wait, voila.
Herb Irvlinger, Bert Herngreif, Irv Hermlinger, Bing Livehanger, Livelink, Bert Herkern, Bingo Lingfucker.
Man, what?
Voila.
I did deserve that.
I know that was. Look at see the chat thinks you do. We had a bingo you.
Yes. I absolutely agree. Okay, now redemption, and voila, this book was born. There are many more factors than that, like the insane popularity of the Red Band cover series and the homages to the famous PCH books. It's checking all the boxes for the major swath of the community. Hence, brisk aftermarket movement. We tracked 54 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 16%, with a high sale of $70 for a near mint copy and a current near mint raw of $51.
All right, yeah, very cool. I like these. I've liked them since I first started doing them again. I thought that was very clever marketing.
Yeah,
to bring this type of style back. And yeah, this
didn't you have that the Golden Key Bird City exclusive that they did for you as well?
Yeah, but
very
not
similar.
For this.
Not for this, right?
Yeah.
But a horror book, nevertheless. It was the what was it, Laura?
Oh my gosh, Boris Karloff.
Boris Karloff. Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got to that eventually. Guys, there's 82 of you hanging out with us. Welcome in. We're almost to number 1. If you haven't already, please give the show a thumbs up. It's just our way of knowing that you guys are enjoying it. And yeah, it helps the algorithm and all that jazz. Hey, want to add to this one at all?
I don't have this cover, but I have the regular Red Band cover. It's a cool comic book, nice and bloody, what you want from a Wolverine comic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna say much more. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Really? Good book though, huh?
13 likes right now, guys, and there's 80 people here. We only have 13.
What? Only 13? Come on. Help us out. Help us out. We can do it. We can do it.
Number 2, Wolverine Revenge, Red Band number 1. This is the Tales from the Crypt number 39 homage. It's the 1 in 25 ratio, so keep that in mind. Going for $70, so almost triple ratio with a 7-day trend of 16%. And what do we have for number?
Speaking of horror comics, here is my favorite, one of the best, craziest, visceral horror comics that there has ever been on the market. That's Crossed number 0 from Avatar Press that came out in 2008. The Constantine film wasn't a major success, but the fans loved it and begged for a sequel. The Preacher series, much the same way, but commercially a juggernaut, but the fans loved it. Both projects have Garth Ennis in common. Well, another Ennis property has gotten the option bug. Crossed features an intriguing premise. A plague infects the world, causing people to act out the darkest things you could think of. Naturally, that sounds like good TV, and fans began scoring the aftermarket for this book. We've tracked 11 copies sold, 7-day growth of 44%, high sell of $60 for a near mint copy, and current near mint copies raw is going for $33.
Ooh, I missed my opportunity to pick this
up. Loved Preacher. I loved Constantine. Man, I wanted Constantine to come back so bad. Oh my goodness, really did. Really enjoyed it. And this, I missed the boat on this, Gabe. I did, man. God, and I kicked my butt. I kicked my butt for this, man, because I've looked at this so many times, and I'm like, it'll be fine. This is not going to be a big book. I'll catch it another time. But oh, man.
Yeah, I was buying this book from the jump because I like Garth Ennis a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Preacher,
great. Yeah,
Boys,
absolutely.
Stuff like that. Jason Burrows. I love Jason Burrows' artwork as well. It's a very clean, solid line. Like there's no like cross hatching. It's a very clean cut line that he has. And I was following this from the beginning. Like I had like a huge run of this. Unfortunately, I purged it when I purged my collection. I think it was a part of that. I still have some of the hardcovers. I really love the first series. The second series is great, but my favorite one is the third series called Cross Psychopath, written by David Lapham. But just fair warning to everybody out there, before you start looking for this book and you start reading it and opening it up, it is very, very gnarly. It is, like I said, it's very visceral. It pushes the envelope of good taste. So you really have to be a fan of disgusting, nasty.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's I don't want to say like some of the things that happens because this is CovrPrice's channel, but it is the worst of the worst of stuff that you'll ever see or experience in this book.
Just a trigger warning, guys. Trigger warning.
It is super gnarly. Like,
yeah.
And because I saw that this is on the list this week, I have a original drawing of Jason Burrows did of me as a cross eating one of my kids.
Oh, good God.
So it's on my Instagram. If anybody wants to look it up, you can check it out. I posted it on my Instagram earlier today. I love this series. I love this book. It's Avatar Press. These things are hard to find because Avatar Press was like nobody was ordering these books. I think they're basically like, they basically are no longer in existence. Yeah. So, you go out there, you can find some stuff, but if you're a variant hunter, this is the place for you because there's all kinds of crazy variants, auxiliary variants, convention variants. Like you can go ham, hog, crazy with the variants for this book. But again, don't open it up unless you want to see like nasty, gnarly, insane, disgusting stuff.
Right. Trigger warning.
You guys have all been warned.
You've been warned, right?
I can't get into details because it's going to be something that's going to kick.
I would love
to probably. It is rough stuff. It's like I said, it's a plague that when you get it basically turns off your humanity. So the thing that kind of stops you from going, this guy just cut me off in traffic. I wish I could just crush his head and rub glass into his face and tear his body apart.
Yeah,
that gets turned off, and you do that.
Yeah,
kind of stuff. And it's nasty stuff. It's amazing though. I love it.
I'd love to read it. Yeah, definitely. I'll check it out. I'll definitely read it.
That's interesting. Sold you, Marty? You're like, yeah, that sounds great.
It is. It's great. It's some really psychopathic, crazy stuff. I mean, it's very interesting. And one of my favorite villains is the Joker. Because if you look into the psyche of the Joker, it's just amazing how psychopathic this guy is and how well they do him. Most writers, will do that. But man,
Marty,
it's right up my alley.
This book is the Joker if he was on bath salts.
Bro, good God.
So here's the thing, like go on like mycomicshop.com or some other website where you can look at covers and the covers will give you a mild look at what happens in these books. Like
interesting.
Like babies being thrown into like wood chippers. That's mild. So like, yeah.
It's mild. That's mild. Wow.
Especially like Cross Psychopath, the third volume that I love so much. It's about a regular person who is worse than the Cross.
Gotcha.
So
interesting.
It's some wild stuff. I don't know if Nathan Comics is in the chat. Right? He's a fan of horror stuff. If you guys want to talk Cross with me, hit me up on Instagram. Take a look at that photo of me eating my kid. Go for it.
Gabe, man, we are learning so much about Gabe tonight, Lord. You realize that, right? Oh my God, Gabe. You are a very interesting man, sir. I must admit.
multifaceted. Number one, we have Cross number 0 with a top raw sale coming in at $60 and a 7-day trend of 44%. As Gabe has been telling you over and over, that sounds a little bit too intense for my liking, but if you're okay with kind of just jumping into something that might make you feel very disturbed while reading it,
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. And I recommend not starting to watch this show at the very tail end if you on the rewind because it's kind of gory what Gabe is saying. I'd watch it from the beginning.
I'm such a wimp too. I could never handle that type of stuff. It would just make
Oh,
me...
please don't ever look at any Cross books then, Laura. Like, no.
I saw your post today on IG and I was like, what the hell? Like, it was all right. You guys need to go find Gabe on IG so you can take a look for yourselves. But that
Gabe
was
loves 90s comics. I'm not a big Instagram guy. I'm not trying to be an influencer, but I was like, everybody's talking about Cross.
Yeah.
Let me show some Cross love. Bam. Here's a drawing of me eating my kid.
You should change it to Gabe hates 90s children. Gabe
eats
everybody.
90
Gabe hates
kids.
Deadpool.
90 kids at a time.
I would love to pick your brain sometime, Gabe. I really would. Maybe we'd have a session together, man, where I just kind of, go over some trauma, man.
Anytime. You don't want to get in his head, all right? You don't want to get in here, all right? Bring a hazmat suit, bring a shotgun. Like, let's do it.
All right, well, we got to get going because right after this, Nearing Nirvana with the girls is going to be on. We are covering Beetlejuice. So if you are a fan of Beetlejuice, go straight over to that after this. But before we go, final words. We'll start with Gabe.
All right. Everybody, thanks again for showing up. Hit that like button. Show us some love. Hit that subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Share it with other Cross fans. Share it to the people who love comics, who don't know. Comic books are a lot of new collectors coming into comic books. It's a tough nut to crack if you're a new person on here.
Yeah.
There really needs to be like a pamphlet or like a user guide for joining the community where it's like, hey, welcome to the community. We love you. Here's a pamphlet. Here's the places you need to visit. Here's some of the information you need to know about comics. But you get that here at CovrPrice. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, next Tuesday, guys, I will not be here because I'm going to London. So Gabe will be hosting the top 10.
Yeah. All Cross next week. Cross.
Cross. Nothing but cross. You're going to sabotage the list. It's going to go down.
Marty, last words.
Oh, once again, thank you for joining us. And, we really appreciate everybody coming out here as always and just supporting us. Supporting the show, supporting CovrPrice, supporting just the comic book community as always. So, but nevertheless, I will be here Thursday. I'll see you guys Thursday.
The Shaker Show. All right, guys, have a good night.
For the entire crew, this is TiVo saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.